Hey folks, James Brandon here, and in this Exploring Creativity video, I'm going to go over some really fun and cool ways that you can take kind of a newer photo like this one. This is of my son Isaac, and we're going to use Nick's brand new Analog Efex Pro 2 to kind of simulate an old film scan with a photo like this one here. So this is of my grandfather on my father's side, and this is actually an old World War II Army photo of his. And I just think that's really cool that I have some of these photos that I can, kind of go back and look at. And I've always liked this portrait. So we're just going to try to take the effects and kind of the look and feel of this image, and we're going to try to replicate that over here on this one. So to get ready to take this into Analog Efex Pro 2, we're going to just do a few really quick adjustments. I'm always a big fan of contrast and just brightness in my portraits. But for this one, we're going to kind of go against that. So I'm going to bring down the contrast and the exposure here just a little bit. And we can do this in Analog Efex Pro 2 as well. But it's good just to, take over as good of a foundation as you can. So that should do it. I'm going to also crop the image just a little bit here. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer here, and then we'll give them some more space here. All right. That's looking good. So I'll right click the image now and choose Edit in Analog Efex Pro 2. All right, and we'll just do a copy with Lightroom adjustments. And that will let us, retain our raw image here if we want to make any changes later. So now that we're in Analog Efex Pro 2, I'm going to bring up that scan over here and just put it right here so I can use it later if I need to, just as a reference, and I'll probably be going back and forth between it quite often. So, you have an option when you're in Analog Efex Pro 2 of choosing like a camera kit over here. You can choose all these presets, and sometimes that's the best way to go, and really most of the time that's a good place to kind of just jump in and see if you can get close. But for this video, I think I'm just going to go, the custom route and just build it from the ground up. So I'm going to start with basic adjustments, and I don't want to do any of this detail extraction. I don't care about that. Brightness, I'll actually probably bring that down just a little bit, and contrast. And we can always, adjust these later. Saturation, I'm not really worried about, but basic adjustments should be done now. So let's go on and choose a film type. So to load this one up, I'm going to hit the plus button right here and load that up. And then on the drop-down menu here, I'm going to choose a black and white tone. And then I'll just kind of go through these and see if I can find one that's kind of close to this look over here. So I noticed that it has a little bit of a green tone to it. So maybe this one or this one. Those two are kind of catching my eye. Definitely not pink or blue. And these are just a little bit too yellow, I think. Although that one's kind of close, actually. And that's what's good. You can just go through and click them and see if you can find one that you really like. So now I'm actually thinking it's between these two here. But I'm liking this one still a little bit more. So we're going to settle on that one. Okay. The next thing we want to do is just work our way down. So we're going to go to the neutral and faded slider and see, which ones we like more. The image, for a scan from World War II has, some decent contrast in it. So I think I'll actually leave it somewhere maybe around here. I think that's looking good. All right, and then as far as strength goes, we can increase that too and make it look like really overdone like this, or take it completely away. And just like in Photoshop, I really like to just go between the extremes and then kind of work my way back and forth and kind of just find that sweet spot. So I'm not trying to create the exact 100% replicated look. I just want to get, relatively close and use this for inspiration for that. Moving down for the grain per pixels, we will add just a little bit of film grain to the image, I think. So There we go. And you can make it soft or hard too. I think I'm just going to leave it there. So that should be good for now as far as the film type. The next thing I want to do is, if you really look at this image, we'll bring it up a little bit bigger here. There's a lot of dust and scratches and stuff on the photo. So I definitely want to, replicate that. It looks like there's even, a light leak here, a kind of a subtle one at the bottom. I don't know if that's just, from the scan or if it's, original to the photo. I don't know. But I bet we can replicate that pretty easily here. So what do we want to do next? I think from here, I'm going to go to dust and scratches and add that to the mix. All right. So let's just go through these and find one that's, kind of subtle, not too overdone. All right. And what I like about these is that they kind of get more and more extreme as you work your way towards the end. You can get something really crazy like this, but it's best to kind of just find one somewhere in the middle. So I kind of like this one right here. What I don't like about it is that, those dust spots and scratches and, those just black spots, they're all over Isaac's face here. And I don't want that in here. And one of the really cool things you can do here in Analog Efex Pro 2 is add these custom control points. So we're just going to hit add control point, and then I'm going to click right here on Isaac's face, right in the middle there, and then you can adjust the size of it. So I'm just going to put it right in the middle here, and then I'm going to take the texture strength and just take it down to 0, okay? And that's going to really just reduce that effect. So you can see here, that's 100%, and this is 0. But I'm still seeing a little bit of that dust spot here. Okay, so what we can do is increase the size of this to really, make that go away. Just like that. So now we don't have to worry about having, too many of those dust spots there on his face. All right, so that's all well and good. The next thing I want to do is see if we can play around with these light leaks. So I'm going to hit plus there and add that in. And let's see, we're going to go up to 100% and then choose like a really crisp light leak. And I do that so that I can really see the effect that's being made on the photo. And then once I know exactly where the light leak, is being affected, or the image is being affected by the light leak, I can go in and really fine tune it. So once you add these light leaks, you can just go in and change them around. So you can see over here on the left side of the image, just like it looks over here, that's where that leak is coming in. So we can move that around. We can bring it up. You can see the lines coming in down here. All right, so I'm actually gonna I kind of like this one because I like what it's doing to the bottom of the image here. And we can change this now to kind of a softer look and bring it back just a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna leave it right down there at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I like that one. So let's collapse that one, and then we can add, let's see, let's go back to light leaks, and I'm just kind of playing around here. Let's just look at a few other ones real quick and see if we like some of the other effects. That one's a little bit too much. All right, let's go back to crisp here. Okay. This one has got my attention a little bit more. It's really overdone right now, but I can, of course, bring that back. No big deal. So let's try right there. And let's take it all the way back and all the way back and kind of just find a good happy medium there. I like this one just because it's a little bit more subtle of a light leak. I like this one at first, but then it was starting to look a little bit too hard. And from here, I'm going to add another control point and add it to his face again, because I just want to make sure his face is really kind of just front and center. So you can see this is a very subtle adjustment, but it's an adjustment nonetheless. I can bring it over here and take the light leak out, but I just want to make sure his face is really shining through in the image. And I think that's all we need to do here. I don't see a whole lot more I'd like to do. I might go back to my basic adjustments and play with the brightness a little bit more, because I'm noticing that this one is quite a bit more washed out than this one over here. So let's bring the brightness back a little bit and then play with the contrast a little bit more. All right. I think that's a good place to stop. So you can see that in just a few minutes, it's really fun to just kind of go through and see how close you can get to these old images.